Okay, so we're looking at question 8. It's to do with genetics. Right, the fur color in rats is controlled by a gene with 2 alleles. What do we say an allele was? Or allele. So these are 2 different versions of the same gene. So for example, eye color. Right, you could have one from mom, which is just say blue, and one from dad, which is just say, I don't know, green. So they both code the genes. Right, let me write this down before I get this wrong. The genes code for eye color, but they're 2 different versions of the same gene. That's an allele, right? One allele codes for black fur, and the other one codes for agouti. What on earth is agouti fur color? One moment. Right, that's when you've got 2 or more different colors. So for example, that might be, I don't know, gray, and that might be white on a hair. So it displays 2 or more colors. Okay, so one's pure black, so we've got to get this right, and the other one 2 more colors. Right, several female rats with mixed fur are mated with several male rats with black fur. All of the offspring have mixed fur. So let me just try to do it as a Punnett square. So these are the males, they've got black fur. So that, I'm just judging by that. So A, and the females have agouti. Right, I can say that the A, because all of the offspring have mixed. So A, so A mixed with A is AA and AA. So can you see all 4 have both the alleles, and here it's saying all the offspring have mixed color. So that means, so bear this in mind, so that means that there, I've never heard this word before, agouti. You learn something every day. This agouti must be the dominant allele. Right. Explain which allele is dominant. Right. The agouti allele is dominant. Why? Because all offspring are agouti colored. Right, okay. Now this really does my head in, but I figured it out. So Right, the offspring are mated together. Some offspring have agouti and some have black. So I'm going to do it as a Punnett square. A, 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 A. So with this cross, you've got AA. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Too keen. Capital A, agouti, 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 black, agouti, black, black, and black. So if you look up here, 3 out of 4 are agouti. So the ratio of agouti to black is 3 to 1. Now, watch this. You can do it this way as well. What you can do is, where are we? So they want a genetic diagram to show the second, include the genome, the gametes, and the genome and the pheno of the offspring. So we want parents, yeah. So the parents genotype, the parent gametes, the offspring genotype, let's write it for you, and the offspring phenotype. Remember what we said, pheno is how they look, geno is the genes that they've got. So we know, I'm going to go across here, right, we know, let's just say this is for example mom and this is dad. We know mom's got here A and A, yeah, A and A, and dad here has got A and A. So you've got A and A, really, so you've only got big A, small a, yeah, agouti and black. So you've got A and A. These are the only two gametes that you've got. Right, the offspring, remember what we did here, the offspring are AA genotype. We've got 2AA. We don't need to repeat that in the same way we didn't need to repeat this. Right, and then finally we've got little a, which is black. Now the offspring, that will be agouti colored. This will also be agouti colored because remember we said it's dominant, and this will be black. Right, you can do both these, yeah, just remember that. You can do a genetic diagram there, or you can do the Punnett square there. Right, calculate the probability that one of these is agouti male. So the probability of agouti here, look here, is 1, 2, 3. So 3 out of 4. So it's 75% times male is 50%. And what that should give you is 0.375. No, 0.375, which is 37.5%. Okay. Right, scientists observe that gene control. Right, so what you've got to do is, what they're saying is, scientists noticed that the coat color makes them different in how they behave and how they react, how they physically look, right? Such as adrenal glands. So look, that's the key thing to it. And neurotransmitters, they help pass impulses between the synapses, across the synapses. So state the name of the type of genetic control where many genes control one phenotype. So this is called polygenic. Right, okay, let's keep going. So number 3, sorry, it's 3 marker. Explain why the size of the adrenal glands and the neurotransmitters would affect rat behavior. Right, okay. So we can say bigger adrenal glands means more adrenaline produced. Right, so this means that the heart rate, the what do you call it, the pupils dilate. So the heart rate, the oxygen for aerobic respiration for the muscles, heart rate, aerobic respiration for muscles is higher, which makes them more alert and ready to either run off, flight, or fight. Will make them more aggressive and more, what's the word, responsive to any attacks that are coming in. Now at the same time, the neurotransmitters affect the rate at which the how can you say, the impulses, let's use the word impulses, the impulses travel across the neurons, making their reactions quicker, so they'll survive. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where you'll know snippets of information and then you've got to apply it. Okay, some rats have white fur. Some rats with white fur also have pink eyes. They do not have a pigment in their irises. This means that it lets light pass through. How can this affect the vision? So what happens is the iris does not block the light So pupils do not dilate and constrict much. This means too much light falls on the retina, causing damage to the retina. Okay, leading to poor vision. So you've got to understand that. Let's get this right. So you've got the iris does not block the light. If it doesn't block the light, even if the iris does move or close, it has very little effect, right? Where did I write that? Too much light falls on the retina. Right, so the pupils do not dilate. So then that means that there's too much light on the retina. Long term, this can cause damage, leading to poor vision. So then you're not able to see either in bright light or dim light. So you have to rely on other senses. Right, that was a that definitely was a tough one. So we're going to do selective breeding. What does the word selective breeding mean? Selective breeding. Right. Right. This is when humans pick desired characteristics. Can I spell characteristics? Characteristics of the organism, of the plant or animal, and breed them. What are the advantages? You get higher yield. It can be more fruits or more milk or more fat or more butter. It takes less time than natural selection. Less time than natural selection. Higher yield, less time, but the problem is there's less genetic variation, so more prone to disease outbreaks. So it could wipe out a whole herd. Right, okay, describe how scientists could use. Okay, so what you do is you crossbreed a parent plant with high yield wheat. So it's got lots of grains on it, with a high yield plant with another. We should put with another high yield plant, or you can get them to self-pollinate. Right, then select the high yield offspring, and you can self-pollinate pollinate. Select the high yield offspring and self-pollinate or cross-pollinate with high yield offspring. And then all that happens, what's the standard answer to this? Repeat for many generations. So then all the offspring are high yield. Right, during long-term study, selective breeding for the mean yield of wheat. So in 1840, it went from 2.6 to 2020, 1840, 1940, 2040. In almost 200 years, it's gone from 2.6 all the way to 6.7 tons per hectare. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we've got 10, and it goes from 2.6 all the way to. Okay. So we could technically do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go up, and that is mean yield in tons. Mean yield in tons per hectare. Okay, and the bottom one is year. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, we can do that. That works out nice. Right, okay. 40, 60, 80. 20, 40, 60, 80. Okay, so 1840. We can put 18, 40, 18, 60, 18. Oh, where did I get that from? 18, 80, 1900, 1920, 1940, 1960, 1980, 2000, 2020. Does it go to 2020? Yep, okay. And then what you do is just plot them. That should not be difficult. And then it says use a ruler to join the points with straight lines. Done. That's not difficult. Right, so should we attempt that? Let's go for it. Right, 2.6, 2.5, 2.4, 2.4, 2.6. So I'm going to go into the middle of this bit here. Can you see this bit here? I'm going to go into the middle of that and go to 2. No, if I read that wrong, 2.6, 2.5, 2.5, 2.4, 2.4. Then it went to 2.5, 2.6, 2.8. 2.5, 2.6, 2.8, 2.5. 2.6, 2.5, 2.6, 2.8, 1960. Yes. 4.2, 4.3, 4.2, 4.3, 4.2, 5.3, 6.7. Right, let's join them up. We'll pretend that this is a ruler because they've asked. Pretend that's a ruler. Use a ruler. Use a ruler. One of those haram things that students don't carry about. Right, ruler, straight line, and finally a straight line. So you're just going through them all. I've left that not to hide the cross, that little point that I've made. Right, okay. Ooh, right, okay. So they're asking us to work out the percentage. Right, you know, this is quite a common question, you know. Percentage change. So it's the original. Right, it's the, right, okay, let's do the end minus original. I don't know how you work this out. How they talk. This, another way of saying that is the difference between the two numbers. Right, and then times it by 100. So them two, that was 2.8 and this was 6.7. So you do 6.7 minus 2.8 over 2.8 times 100. And then show another step. 3.9 over 2.8 times 100 equals 139.3%. Yeah, over the years. Okay, that's that done. Right, per year. So let's continue this on. So what we do is from 1960 all the way to 2020 is 40, 50, 60 years. Yeah. So what you do is you do 139.3% divided by 60 years. And it gives 2.3%. Right, dwarf wheat is shorter than old rye. It suggests how why growing is an advantage for farmers. Okay. Right, first of all, more of the plant's energy is used for the wheat grain. So less is used to grow the stalk. Therefore, less energy is used to grow the stalk or the stalk height because they mentioned short. Right. The thicker stem means what does the thicker stem mean? Less likely to break in a storm or in strong winds. To break in strong wind or weather. Because it's shorter, it could be easier to harvest. Right, they've also said it gives a higher yield. That's why you grow it, don't you? Wow. 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 Gives a right. Okay, no, that's enough for that. Right, this is a comms. I think that's normally the last question. It's a comms questions. We'll do that separately. Okay.